Good morning from Jasper and from me and from this grandfather maple tree. My great good friend, this maple tree. And I just spent the last 10 minutes with my head and my hands in contact, touching this tree, in communion with the tree. And I am buzzed. Yes. Amazing energy that tree has. Good friend for many years now. And we have a conversation quite often. So anyway, he is so, wow, just like deep and patient and accepting is, I guess, the best word. Just stands there in all his glory and acceptance and gratitude for being. Here's another one, right? Like big tree. So, yes, we are out in the woods walking again. And it is another glorious, sunny summer day. The mornings are a bit cooler now, so fall is in the air, so to speak, right? But in the meantime, it is still summertime. All right. So we have in front of us a big old tree. I mean, a big old tree. Yes, a big old tree down there, and a big old hill to walk down carefully as I talk to you. Very carefully. All right. Okay. So what should we talk about today? Other than the fact that I am still so buzzed from my 10 minutes of meditation with my maple friend, who is like just so giving, so wondrous, and so filled with rainbow colors of light. Just like explodes my mind with them when I talk to him. Anyway, enough of me being high on life. Where are we at? Nearing the end of August, coming into September. And the world, of course, is rushing on, doing its craziness thing. Everybody choosing their path, if you will, in this time when we have so many choices in front. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see that? You happy in that mud hole? Yes, he is. And I have to get across this creek without getting too terribly wet. All right. He doesn't care if he gets his feet wet. I kind of do. Anyway, now that we went down that hill across the creek, we have to go up the other side. So I will no doubt be huffing and puffing as we go up the other side. Anyway, here I am rambling again, not saying anything specific to you, and maybe you've tuned me out already because of that. But anyway, I have a couple questions for you. What do you stand for? Right? Seriously, what are your core principles, core values? What do you stand for? Do you stand for freedom? Do you stand for personal sovereignty? Do you stand for opportunity? Do you stand for free speech? Do you stand for the rights, freedoms, responsibilities of yourself and others? What do you stand for? I'm not calling you. I'm just asking you to ask yourself. Don't expect an answer. But the things you hold as core values, as basic principles, are the things that define you. The things that determine, good hill, determine the nature of your soul. And ultimately, your destiny, right? They determine how you go about behaving in the world, what moral stances you assume, what is the foundation of your relationships with other people, with your world, with the universe, with your creator. So it's kind of important to decide what your core values are, what your basic inner, deep felt, ingrained principles are, and how you use those values and principles to determine how you live your life, what you do, what you say, how you act, how you interact, how you go about bringing forth into the world a reflection of yourself. So the things that you create out into the world, whether it's the relationships you have, the businesses you enact, the things that you cause to happen out in the world, these are all a reflection of who you are, right? And those are based on several things. Who you are is based on several things. Your values, your principles, your beliefs, your individual perspectives, all of these things determine who you are. And who you are determines what you bring out into the world, what you create, and what you contribute to the collective mass of humanity, of course, right? Because you cannot help but do that. Every thought you think, repetitively at least, intensely, repetitively, with emotional content behind it, has an impact on the collective consciousness of humanity, whether you believe it or not, right? It's kind of like gravity. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. It works. And if you don't believe me, go jump off a building, right? It works. And so does the truth, the invariable law that says that what you think, what you emote on a repetitive, profound basis has an impact on your immediate environment, on your world, and on the collective consciousness of humanity. So, you know, if you choose to not hold valuable core values and principles, personal principles, and choose not to live your life according to those core values and principles, then you are really lowering the vibration of the collective consciousness of humanity. And when you make a conscious choice to go out and live your life according to real, genuine core values, not things you just make up off the top of your head, but things that resonate deep within you, right? Core values and basic principles that govern your behavior, your heart, your soul, your mind, the way you go about being in the world. These things have an impact on me, the rest of humanity, and that is an undeniable fact, and that's how big your responsibility is, right? Now, most people don't go about living their life that consciously and intentionally. I understand that. They haven't woken up to the fullness of themselves yet. They haven't come to understand how the creative power that brought the universe into being not just resides in itself and in its creation, the universe, but in each individual being within that universe, like me, like you, right? And as a consequence of that creative essence existing within me, I am by nature creative. I cannot help but be creative. And I am in every moment with my thoughts, with my feelings, with the way I go about being, whether that's conscious and intentional or unconscious and accidental. I cannot help but creating effects out into the world. So the question I guess I have for you today is, what are you creating? Why are you creating it? Is it accidental? Is it intentional? Is it to the benefit of yourself and your fellow human beings and the world as a whole? I mean, this glorious, glorious, glorious world that we exist within. Are you acting that way intentionally to be of service, to be a contribution to your fellow man, to the world that we exist within, and ultimately to the universe itself and to the creative force behind the universe? Are you acting with that intent? Or are you just stumbling through life pretending that your little life doesn't have that big an impact, and it doesn't matter what you do, and it doesn't matter how you behave, and ultimately, at the end of the day, your life will be meaningless and purposeless because you will just die and return to dust or ashes or whatever and be gone forever, right? Lots of people choose that choice because they are afraid of the responsibility and they don't want to accept their sacred core nature, right? And that's cool. I mean, we all walk our own paths. Jasper and I are out here walking our paths. Look at these flowers, aren't they? Look at the, I don't know if you can see them. Let me see. Aren't they precious? Dew, rain, and sunlight sparkling, right? Okay, beautiful. Anyway, so we live in interesting times. There's no doubt about that. And the choices that you make now have more impact than ever because of the chaotic nature of the situation. The fact that so many people on this planet are waking up and so many things are being revealed, uncovered. We live in this interesting time where our individual choices have more profound effects than they did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, on all of that. And especially now that you have been made aware of by me or somebody else, that the choices you have about how to go about being in the world, the choices you make about thinking and feeling, acting in the world have an impact. Now that you're aware of that and you go about continuing on not intentionally, you know, what shall I say, doing what you can to raise the vibration of your fellow human beings by being loving and compassionate, contributory, then you know you are making a transgression, right? So, don't mean to be too confrontational about this, but I urge you to please step up into the world, step up into the wholeness, the fullness of who you are, the creativity that you have built into you, right? That is there, waiting for you to claim it. Basically, just waiting for you to claim it, right? It's there, and it's waiting for you, okay? In fact, it's probably whispering in your ear right now, right? Going, psst, wake up, listen, right? You are important. You are capable of making a contribution. And because you now know that, you have a responsibility to do it. So anyway, that's enough for now. Look at this. Isn't this incredible? I mean, truly, isn't it? Just, what can I do? It is also beautiful, right? All so beautiful. Let's go back to this tree here, right? Shall we? Look at this. Look at this. Have a wonderful day. I really, truly do love you, and thank you for listening if you've gotten this far. Ciao for now.